Hello, hello, hello. Peace and blessings. I'm excited to share this deck. This is not a new deck by any means. It is one that I haven't really worked with, even though it's been in my collection for a few years now. I decided that for 2025, I would pick a handful of decks to work with just so I can, one, like, really get to see the patterns and different cards that are repeating and just kind of come to a deeper understanding of the chosen decks. And one of the decks that I chose was the Wild Unknown because I have not really worked with that deck. I have had it for quite some time. I feel like this came out in like 2015, 16, something like that. I'm trying to see. It's one that had been on my wish list for a while, but I didn't get this until like 2020. I finally went ahead and got it. So I have her other decks. There's the her oracles, and then the animal spirit and the alchemy deck and all of that. It's there too. So I do have her decks. I really love the artwork of the Wild Unknown when I would see it on social media and see the images and the artwork. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Lumina Tarot. So because I appreciated the artwork, I went ahead and got it. I guess there were like mixed reviews about the Wild Unknown Tarot. So I think that kind of like made me hold off on getting it. But I just always, I don't know, it's always on my wish list. So I was just left it there. And yeah, so I have not really sat down and like went through the cards. I wonder, are they still in order? I don't know. I think I may have used it. Yeah, because they're not in any particular order. So I just want to go through the deck and just refresh everything. So I'm going to put the cards in order really quick and then come back. Okay, that was pretty easy because they were semi still in order. So let's see. So there is the sleeve that the actual box came in. There's the box. Nice little magnetic enclosure. And then the cards are tucked safely in this. I love the wheel. Look how beautiful. I just love the way the colors flow. And then there is this chunky guidebook right here. So Kim Kranz is the creator of this particular deck. And inside of the guidebook, it talks about drawing tarot, understanding the decks, the major and the minor, reading the cards, and then it goes into the actual cards. I wonder, are there spread? Yeah, there are some spreads in here. The court cards, page, knight, queen, king. So there's goes into the family, daughter, son, mother, father. So yeah, this guidebook has a lot of helpful information. It talks about shuffling, how to cut the cards, reversals. There's a clarity spread, the past, present, future, pulling your daily card, connection spread, Celtic cross, and a year ahead spread also. So yeah, and then it also talks about reversals. So she did not include reverse meanings in this book. It's important to have a grounded sense of the cards in their upright before adding complexity of reversals to your reading. There's no right or wrong. You don't need to use the reverse cards at all. My favorite psychic positions the cards, they're always upright, and her readings are incredibly meaningful. So she didn't include reversal meanings, and each page has the artwork and then a paragraph about the cards, and same thing for the majors as well. So let's look at the Wild Unknown Tarot. These are the backs of the cards. It reminds me of like a spider web or even like a snake skin, like the pattern. It just draws my eyes into it, and I can see like all the movement and everything. Beautiful. So we've got the Fool, which is a little birdie, baby bird sitting on a branch. Hasn't quite yet, like, I like that because then it's like, and I wonder, is that a cherry blossom tree? It's almost like the sun is rising in the morning and the little bird is starting to like step off of the perch, like ready to take that risk. Will I fly? Will I fall? So that's really cute. I think everything in this deck is like animals. Oh, oh, okay. So the majors are in the back. Okay. I just want to have the guidebook here just to see if there's any inspiration that Kim has provided on the cards. Okay, so then we have the Magician, which is a cheetah. Very interesting. Because the Magician is about like action and using all of your tools and all of your resources. And when I think of cheetahs, I think of speed. I think of like their stealth modes, how big cats can be very stealthy and go get their prey. So I think that's a very interesting alignment for the Magician card. And it's almost like the direction, like where they're looking, is super focused, like laser focused. So then we have the tiger as the high priestess. I wonder why the tiger. Sitting in stillness, silence, using non-action, listen more closely to the voice within. So no, I can't really draw any connections there with the tiger, but there is the high priestess. I love the black and white with just like the pops of color. And it looks like they're sitting there about to maybe read for someone or just channeling information. And then we have the Empress as this beautiful tree under the moon. And I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory with the Empress as a tree. And there's the Emperor. This reminds me of the Way Home Tarot that had the Emperor. I think it's the Emperor. It was like a heart growing out of, a tree growing out of a heart-shaped brain. But so the Emperor is a tree in the daytime. So you have the energy of the sun contrasted by the energy of the moon. And there's the Hierophant, a raven or a crow with the key. I like that the key symbol has come in and the crow is calling, making noise, and then there's lightning that is striking down. Interesting, because like with the Hierophant being a mentor or teacher, when I think about like crows or ravens, a lot of times they are like calling and making noise. So it's like always speaking, sharing wisdom and insights. And then we have the Lovers. I like this card a lot just with the different rainbow colors in the background. You have the two geese flying together. The Chariot. And then there is Justice. What are those, foxes or just cats? I think they're two cats. Yeah. Oh, I love this. The Hermit. I love turtles. I love, love, love turtles. So this is very special to me. I love the Hermit card. And it's so appropriate because how turtles can just go into their shell. Love it. Oh, look at this Wheel of Fortune. I thought the wheel was what was pictured on the box. That must be the world card. But this is the Wheel of Fortune. So that to me, I think of like weaving. And is that the moon behind it? It's almost like a dream catcher. Not quite, but that popped in my mind as well. And you have the owl there. And it looks like there's day on the bottom with the sun, and then at the top half, there is night. There's a lot going on in here. Yeah, it makes me think about weaving and how all the little things that we do each day, the different actions or inactions, the decisions that we make, how it's helping to weave together, our path or what it is that we're manifesting. And then we have the lion with the strength card. We have bat for the hangman. Oof. Death. This reminds me of another card in the Way Home Tarot as well. And it's very interesting because like death and temperance to me, it's almost like it's the same bird. So when I'm looking at the temperance, it's almost like a rebirth or even almost a mourning because you see the tears falling into the flame, or it couldn't be seen as tears. I forget what these birds are called. Egrets, or is that a heron or a crane? But there is temperance, and I don't know, for me, like after that death card, it really to me speaks of like rebirth, finding your way again. And then we've got the devil, the hot-footed goat. And there's the tower. Oh. And then we have the star card. The moon. The sun. There's judgment. And there is the world. So yeah, that's the image that I saw that I thought was the wheel. So this is all about wholeness and completion. I think those are poppies on the inside of the wheel. Does it say? No. But yeah, so there is the world. And I have it upside down. The world. So I feel like some of these like really, really evoke like deep emotion. I love this moon card. I like art like this that's kind of abstract because then I start to see things like pop out in the background or the foreground, however you choose to look at it. I would say that yes, this would definitely be one of those like intuitive decks because some of the cards, like looking at it, doesn't necessarily translate the meaning in tarot. Like the Empress, I know that would be like fertility and creativity and the divine feminine, but nothing really says that. But then we have the night and we have the moon, and so we know that the divine feminine is connected with the moon, things of that nature. So there's little cues and then just picking up on also some of the animal meanings as well, and like understanding like the energy of the animals, what they represent, and tying that into things as well can be helpful. So yeah, those are the majors. So now I want to look at the minors, which are, I'm going to start with, I think, what order does the guidebook go in? I do like in the guidebook, there's like basic keywords for the cards. Okay, it starts with wands. She goes. Wands, Cups, Swords, Pentacles. Okay, that's I think how I have them in order. So I'm just going to go through these really quickly. This is more of, I guess, a pip style deck as well. So not a lot to go into. But there we have the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands. I like how they're coming together. There's something about that, like bringing the focus together when I see these cards. And we have the Three of Wands building. I like that little portal in the center. The Four of Wands. There's the Five, which is very interesting because looking at like how these are, like you can see the progression from the Ace of Wands to the Two to the Three to the Four, of like the wands coming together. And then this one, they're separate. So it's just like, I don't know, it's a very interesting depiction of this Five of Wands energy where it's scattered. And there is the Six of Wands. This is almost like coming out of the chaos, right? Coming out of the cocoon energy. The Seven of Wands. There's the Eight of Wands. I don't know why what I heard was like channeling magic. It's almost like drawing energy from the divine to amplify your intentions. The Stairways, I love this one, the Nine. And then we have the 10. It's just like a blockage is what comes up here for me. And there's the Daughter of Wands. We have Snake. The Son of Wands. Oh, that looks like a dandelion. Oh, I love that. Look at the mama snake protecting her eggs. And then we have the Father of Wands, which is like a cobra. Are they all cobras? I don't think so, because they look different. I don't know. I'm not a snake person. What are they? It starts with an H. It's not herbivore. It's a hep something, which are people who, or the snake family. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Cups. I love this because it reminds me of mermaids. So there's the Ace of Cups. I love the roses. Two of Cups. The Three of Cups. I like this because what came up was like abundance. Like, oh, how am I? Like, there's enough for everyone to have their own and to share, if that makes sense. Very interesting. The Four of Cups. This is really interesting. Like, why is there a rat on the cups? That's kind of gross. I want to see if there's what she says. Oh, of course, discontent. That definitely made me discontent. Like, I don't want that. I don't want to drink out of the cup that little mouse paws or rat paws have, ran across. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was like, why would that be a, okay, makes sense. I get it now. I get it. And there is the Five of Cups. Look at this sad horse. Oh. They can feel like the heaviness in this card. Oh. There is the Six of Cups. I love that the roots, like this is like the roots are alive and they are helping the tree to thrive. Often we don't get to see that. We don't get to see, you know, the work that's been put in. We don't get to see the people who like pave the pathway for us. Um, so it gives like past and future, but also it's very much still in the present. I like that. Here we have the Seven of Cups. I like the dreamy feel of this card. Even though that kind of looks more like mountains, it still gives that feeling of like being in a dream. The Eight of Cups. The Nine of Cups. And what I feel like looking at the eight is like, you know how they have those smash room places that you can go to and like break things. Like there's no coming back from this. Like you've already walked away. Like this is like over. Like don't want any of this. Like I will just go get completely new cups, new everything, like leaving it on the mountain and I'm walking away. I like that this is like just done. Like I've already left the building. There's nothing there for me. And whatever's on the other side of this mountain is where I'm going. And there is the Nine of Cups. I love the Ten of Cups because it's like synergy and harmony and flow and balance. As above, so below. And there is the Daughter of Cups, the Son of Cups, the Mother of Cups. I love all the little stars around her, fireflies, whatever those little splashes of colors are. It's almost like she's dancing or like calling something to her. I like the open wing stance too. And there is the Father of Cups. Now we're getting into the swords, which is one of my favorite suits. So we have the Ace of Swords. I like how it has the Ouroboros kind of lemniscate around it. I was trying to see if there was, it still gives that image of the Ouroboros and the infinity symbol. I like that. And you can see like these bolts of inspiration coming through. And it also, to me, it symbols like the interconnectedness is what I'm hearing, but always like that we are always connected to source. We're always connected to our truth. We're always like connected. So I really like that. And we have the Two of Swords. I love, look at the eclipse, because the Two of Swords can sometimes like represent like indecision, needing more information. Let me see. And like usually like during an eclipse, it's the time to pause, like not necessarily to like do any workings and things like that. So I love that that kind of came in, and it's yeah, almost like a just wait, just pause, stop. Like when the guards, like in the movies, and they cross the sword and you can't get through. Ooh, look at this Three of Swords. Everything is just bound up. And even though there's no like heart or anything, like you can still see the red dripping at the bottom of the sword. It's interesting because I think like as I'm sitting looking at it, I'm thinking about the person that sat and like tied this all together, and like how painful that must have been as their, you know, hands maybe got nicked in the process. Don't know why, but that's what popped up in my mind. It's like the entanglements that we sometimes put ourselves in, or just like the situations that maybe we keep ourselves stuck in, whether that's mentally or, physically, and the way that our minds can sometimes keep us in places we don't belong. And there is the Four of Swords, the little lamb there. Are those tapeworms? That's some kind of like parasitic thing. That's the Five of Swords. Ugh. Or is that one of those like earthworms that you can like cut in half and then it just regenerates? Kim, you really did something here, girl. Self-destruction makes sense. Yet another card of warning. The Five of Swords depicts the destruction of the self. You'll be lured into another situation or an argument you know to avoid. Your selfishness and desire for power will lead you to defeat. Pain and discord will result. Jesus. Girl. Interesting the way the swords are, right? This reminds me of the Two of Swords, like the being blocked. And this is like a clear, you're going to hurt yourself if you continue. And even though, and I think I asked that question before, like creatures that can regenerate limbs and their tails and things like that, like, doesn't that hurt? And a friend and I were talking about butterflies, like as they're, turning into essentially goo from, the caterpillar breaking down, like, does that hurt? So like this is what this Five of Swords makes me think of. And a lot of times, because it talks about self-destruction, because right, the swords represent our intellect, our mind. Sometimes we don't think about the cost of things, right? Like the cost of an argument, the cost of not saying something. So I like how she relates it to self-destruction, because it's like we always have a choice. And what is it that we're choosing? Are we choosing to almost sacrifice ourselves in this moment? And if so, for what? And is it of any benefit? I'm not going to lie. I wasn't sure. This deck I had in my on my list to call, to like offload, to get rid of, because I never truly connected with it. It was one of those, I kept seeing it and it was pretty and I really, really wanted it, but I never got it. And then when I did get it, I was like, did I just buy this just because I saw the pretty pictures on the gram? But now that I'm like looking at the cards and kind of just sharing the thoughts that are coming up for me as I'm viewing them and seeing like the way Kim chose to depict the meaning of the cards, and then kind of looking at the way that she's described this as self-destruction versus, usually, right, it represents conflict or an argument, some sort of fight, some sort of battle. But sometimes when we put ourselves in those situations, it could be a very like self-destructive thing, because did we need to have that conversation? Did we need to, you know what I'm saying? So it's just very interesting. I like the way that this deck is kind of making me think. So okay, I like it. I'm telling you, I wasn't sure, which is one of the reasons why I really love to sit down and like look at the cards and like talk my way through it, because then things start to pop up. And now I feel like, okay, now I understand the cards a little better. And it's so funny because they're very simplistic cards, but there's so much just amazing artistry, and the way that the energy jumps out when I'm looking at the cards, which is very interesting. Okay. There we have the Six of Swords. It's almost like burying the hatchet. That's what I'm hearing. Like we're putting all of that drama, all of the self-destruction, all of the self-harm, all of that away. And there's hope, right? We've got the rainbow, which represents hope. It represents renewal, the calm after the storm. The storm is over. We're moving into a more beautiful place. I think that was very beautifully depicted. And there is the Seven of Swords. And you can see this little fox trying to hide the sword there at the bottom, which you can clearly see. But that's really cute. And there is the Eight of Swords. Look at that. I was just talking about like butterflies and cocoons, and there we go. Oh, sheesh. Oh my gosh. The Nine of Swords. I was not expecting this. I had to like look at it for a second to try and figure out what I am looking at. But there is something that has, I don't know, been decomposed. Like, I want to see what the book says. My face. I don't know. This is very tragic. Dark visions, anguish, nightmares. Yeah, that makes sense. I just wanted to see like what she had in there. Yeah, that's giving me horror movie vibes, and I don't like horror movies. This is like nightmares and, Dark Night of the Soul type stuff, and that's kind of what it feels like. Just ugh. Eyeballs and maggots and worms, and I don't even know what that is. Like a jaw? A monster claw? I don't know. Let's put that away. Oh my gosh, not the buffalo. The Ten of Swords, like through the eyeballs. Ugh, so harsh. Okay, I'm gonna put this one down too. So we've got the Daughter of Swords, the Son of Swords, and these are all owls. The Mother of Swords, and we've got the Father of Swords. Yeah, that 9 and 10. That 9 or 10. Oh, sorry. Oh, but yeah, it's very, very heavy. Gosh, that is so heavy. I was trying to find my little situation because let me just. Oh no, am I out of juice? I think my lighter might be. I was gonna light some Palo just to shake some things up, but we'll just. I've been cleaning my everything, but especially my desk and everything. So I usually have like some energy clearing spray and stuff here, but I've moved things and whew, okay. Ace of Pentacles. You've got the Two of Pentacles. Interesting, the Three of Pentacles. There's the Four of Pentacles. It's very interesting because looking at these, like, however which way they move, it's like they keep each other in balance. Like I was seeing it rotate in my head, and it's very interesting. We've got the Five of Pentacles. There's the Six of Pentacles. I like that these are like buds. But for some reason, like I'm seeing them as seeds, and then the seed falls, and then it goes in the ground, and then more grow, and it just keeps going and growing. Got the Seven of Pentacles. I love this spider, the Eight of Pentacles. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love, love, love this so much. I have a deep appreciation for spiders. I was terrified of spiders for a very, very long time. And won't share the story right now, but someone used to like scare the life out of me with spiders so I started studying spiders so that I could understand them. And then I started respecting them and not being afraid of them anymore. So I've come to have a deep appreciation for spiders. They are actually one of my totem animals. And so, yeah, I love spiders. There's the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles. Ah, my favorites, Deer, the Daughter of Pentacles. Look at the young buck, the Son of Pentacles. Oh, Mama and Baby, Mother of Pentacles. And Deer are also one of mine. And look at that beautiful, beautiful buck, Father of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. Okay, so wow. I am really impressed by these cards. I'm like, why did it take me so long to sit down and work with this deck? Because it's amazing. I honestly did not know that I was going to have this deep a connection with the cards. And I'm thinking, and it's funny because I was thinking about adding in her Animal Spirit Oracle and swapping out one of the other decks that I chose. And I think I may do that because this is such a heavy, like, animal nature based deck. I think working with that might help me better understand the energies of the different animals in the deck, and then just, continue to like build a connection with the cards and everything. So yeah, I am very grateful that I pulled this deck off of the shelf, and it was one that like I needed to work with. So I'm very excited and just wow. I can't wait to actually, I want to shuffle. Thank you so much. Father of Pentacles tried to come back out, but I want to shuffle really well and just pull a card to see what message this deck has for me. And maybe I'll do a deck interview spread with it because I'm like, okay, I didn't know. But I get it now. I get why. I just dropped a card. It was the Two of Pentacles. I'm going to put it back just because I dropped it because I don't have enough space. I got too much going on my desk. All right. The Wild Unknown. Wow. I'm really impressed by this deck. And like I said, just glad that I pulled it off my shelf to work with. We've got Wheel of Fortune, which is my card of the year for the next year, which is really beautiful. The Four of Wands also popped out. And then the Five of Wands. So what I get with it being the Wheel of Fortune year for myself is to pause. One, I feel like there will be a lot to celebrate. January, the Oracle card that I pulled was celebration, but I'm also feeling like the need to pause and see how I can better use my energy, where I can pull resources and things together, maybe what needs to be taken away in order to remain in this energy of the Four of Wands. So I think that's really awesome. Yay! All right, so This was a look at the Wild Unknown Tarot, a very popular deck created by Kim Kranz, and I am so excited to finally dig into this deck and have it as a working deck for me in the coming year. If you have any insights, any particular spreads, or ways you enjoy working with this deck or other oracle pairings with it, please let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'm excited. I'm so excited. All right, until next time, I'm Jovhannah with Spiritual Love Tarot. I will see you again soon. Peace.